Okay, hi everyone. This reading will be to honor the full moon that is coming up August 3rd, 8:59 a.m. So it's Monday Pacific Daylight Time, 8:59 a.m. So I did the chart for LA, California, because a lot of people are from there. But of course, if you're in a different time zone, you'd have to adjust the time. And also, because I don't know where the moon's going to fall in your natal chart, I'm going to read just the aspects. So don't pay any attention to the ascendant. I'm not going to pay any attention to the four hot points, the ascendant, descendant, the nadir, or the midheaven. Just forget about that, because it won't apply to everyone unless you live in LA. And then still, it won't apply to your own natal chart. You'd have to put all of this configuration into your natal chart, and then you could get some real specific guidance for you, which is a really good thing for everyone to do. So, okay, so first I want to look at the fact that, of course, with the full moon, we always have the sun opposite the moon. The sun's in Leo, and the full moon will be in Aquarius at 11 degrees. 45 minutes, so almost 12 degrees. And that polarity is all about our own creativity and our own will and what we want versus, well, it can be versus, but actually I like to look at it as the complement of the greater good of the whole. With Aquarius as the full moon, we'll be thinking a lot about everyone else and what's the right thing to do, what's the right plan to have. And especially that is a predominant theme because the nodes have recently changed signs, and with the south node in Sag, this has to do with, and it's in the later degree, so it's very potent. And the nodes move backwards, which is really interesting, but it's the way the universe works. So with this, late degree Sag, we're in the realm of what is the truth? What is the real truth? And what do we really believe? Right? So with this polarity, and again, I feel it can be a unification. We can always reconcile the opposites, where what brings meaning to us and what the truth is, for each one of us, is based on what we believe. So with Gemini for the North Node, this is all about talking to others, understanding what they believe, how they feel, or what they think, mostly more than feeling. But for those who are very whole and healthy and healed, the mind and the feelings go together very well. There's no separation between the mind, body, and soul at all. But for those that are not healed yet, they will experience at times those dichotomies. So, but anyway, we will be gathering information and talking to each other, and really focusing on what is the truth, what is the right direction to go, and how do we make that happen. So this is what we're all going through for the next year and a half. So that's just, in the backdrop, a blanket, that you can count on. And right now, with Venus conjunct the North Node, this has to do with what is it that brings unity and the unitive consciousness into our path, into our way of moving towards life. What do we value the most? And with Gemini, of course, it's going to be information and speaking with each other, and gathering facts and data, right? Data, however you want to pronounce that. And with Mercury in Cancer, we're going to be thinking about our children. This has to do with going, do they go back to school or not? If they can't, if their school supports that, how safe is that or not? I don't have an opinion either way. It's just that's what's on the table now. So the safety of our children if they go back to school, and how that could happen, is there on the table. And with with that, that dynamic there opposing, we're thinking about it, we're talking about it, and it's definitely, a really important matter to attend to. You don't just want to put your children in an unsafe situation, and maybe not all schools have it together yet. Or maybe everything's going to be online, especially with the moon in Aquarius that's ruled by Uranus. And of course now we have Uranus in Taurus, so with the Taurian energy, it's about safety, being safe, with our food and our children and, everything. It's all about safety. And, going through this pandemic that's all over the world, we have to protect our children. So this is where the Cancer energy, and speaking about that is perfect. So homeschooling or schooling online or being back to school in a safe way is definitely going to be up for revelation and speaking to and honoring with the full moon. Because, of course, the full moon brings things up and illuminates everything. And in this case, it's about humanity and what's right and how do we handle what we're going through. But right now, this Mercury opposite Saturn, exact. This is just about right to the, same, it's definitely same degree, but almost at the same minute as well. So with Saturn at 27 Capricorn and Mercury at 27 Cancer, we are thinking and talking and making sure that, or what evolved parents will be doing is making sure that their parents are safe. The Saturn in Capricorn is being in the best degree, it's being in your authority and taking control over what matters to you in your life. And of course, this would rule your children in your home, your family, your homeland, coming back home to yourself if you don't have children, mastery over your integrity and yourself, your inner authority, your self-awareness, your own life, taking self-responsibility for your own life is what this, Saturn conjunct Pluto transit that we've all been going through and will continue for quite some time. That's what it's all about. It's about inner law versus outer law. No longer do we need to think that there's some authority taking care of us because obviously there's a corrupt government, situation going on and always has been. It's just that now it can't hide. It's not that it wasn't there before, it's just that it was hidden. So, for the full moon, I think it's going to be more about the safety of our self, our health, our home, our family. I think it's more about that than anything else. And then if I just tune in here to this square, we have to look at the fact that Mars is in Aries. That's a really important theme that will last through the end of the year. But also that, at least for now, it's in a nice trine to the Sun. So Sun trine Mars is a good thing. But it gives some ease to, for moving forward in your life according to your own inner will, hopefully. And not so much your outer will. It shouldn't come from an arrogant place. You're moving forward in life. We need to all be together in our thinking and caring for each other. And with the Sun trine Mars, there's a nice, these fire signs work really well together. And so, hopefully it will be more peaceful. This full moon should bring in more peace. But we do have the square to Jupiter in Capricorn. So we're still dealing with, of course, how to control ourselves in the midst of the crazy things that are happening politically. And especially, with Chiron in Aries as well. It's like, how do we honor how much we matter? How do we honor how much it matters that we know that and we take care of ourselves and we honor our uniqueness in our inventiveness, our new passion, whatever it is that we want to put out in life, our own instinctual drive to just be here. You know what I mean? Like, if we're here, we matter. Whoever is here matters. Everything that's alive on the planet matters. And and things that aren't manifest on the planet matter as well. Everything matters. So this theme will have more energy, so that it's actually a good thing that's happening. Now, Mars was conjunct before, it was prior, and that's when we've had tons of protests and violence and things that happened that shouldn't have happened from the federal government, the authorities abusing their power. That should not have happened, but that's what this square has been about between Jupiter and Mars. Although prior to, when it was conjunct in Chiron, that's when we saw the flare-ups. So that has passed, and now Mars is moving forward. At some point it will conjunct Uranus, but we'll talk about that later. With Neptune and Pisces here, sextiling Jupiter, there may be some healing around the coronavirus, something that comes through, something very tangible that comes through. And as Jupiter moves closer to Pluto, that may happen as well. These are all the planets that are in the red degrees here as well. So we're talking Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Chiron, and Mars. These are all retrograde, even though my program doesn't print it out that way, but instead they just change the color. So all of these retrograde planets here are they have us reevaluating what's important to us and what needs to change, and how we can, heal our own lives and come from our own inner authority. So I think I just see that as the major theme for this full moon. How can we be in our authority and also be one with each other? And then with the inconjunct here between Saturn, Pluto, and the North Node, that tells me that we're moving with Venus up here too. That's actually, I like that. That helps soften it. There, we're moving towards more of a unitive approach to gathering data, to getting our information, to sharing our information with each other, especially with Venus there. And with that in mind, that what is kind of hidden, because with the inconjunct, it's not like right off to the side on either side, and it's not directly in front of you. It's off back into your vision in an area where you don't usually see. So it'll be like a kind of a irritation, or just something kind of bugging you. You don't know, what it is, or you do know what it is. In this case, it's our government. And are they doing all that they can to help us get through this time? And of course, they did not. The Trump administration threw out the entire plan that was put in place, by the Obama administration, which was carried forward prior to that. But anyway, it's been a big plan was in place, and Trump threw it all out. So we know that that's back there, and we're having a hard time knowing how to deal with that. And the message that I always get with is we have to take responsibility for ourselves and our own family, the Cancer Capricorn polarity here, and we make decisions about our future that way based on what matters to us most, which would be the safety of our children, the safety of our own health. And then we make adjustments into our income and our values based on that. So that's the tension there, with the Uranus squaring the full moon. There can be a breakthrough with Uranus squaring. It's in a T-square here between the Sun, Moon, and this is the most important aspect of the chart right here. Is that this can be a breakthrough, but sometimes you go to, like I have a major T-square in my chart, and if you go, I learned that if you go to the opposite point of the T-square, so we have the Sun and the Moon, here opposing each other. So there can be a breakthrough. Oppositions create breakthroughs eventually. But the T-square with Uranus brings in the tension of, we need an invention. We need to know new ways to take care of ourselves. We need new modes of safety and new ways of being, new values. And so that's what's in tension. And then often to go to the opposite side. So what, at 10 degrees Scorpio, the opposite here can be a breakthrough point as well. In that, with Scorpio, it would be about, instigating big change, deep awareness that can change, the way you move through life and can create more safety. And Taurus and Scorpio often have, our personal values and then resources and other people's values to consider. And that's, we're in it all together. And the strength of us together makes a huge, huge difference. If most of us can agree on something, then it's that much more powerful. Yeah, so I think the important piece here is to know that you're not alone in anything. None of this is, it's a false belief to think that we're alone. We're stronger together, and we're gonna know that by the end of this transit, by the end of this full moon. I think that a lot of us are going to know how many of us there are that are actually on the same page. Yeah. Okay, so, well, that's it. That's all I have for that, and thank you so much. Take good care. Bye.